Okay, welcome back everyone to another episode of Yoda's Hut. I'm Bill. I go by Yodaman on the boards. And once again, I'm joined for commentary on this game by Derek. Hey Derek, how's it going tonight?
Doing all right?
Alright, so we've got some of our first Yoda's Hut videos here with decks suggested using Trust in the Force sets. I am on the right in this game, playing a Rebel and a little bit of Jedi thrown in there deck suggested by Mutter Vader against my good friend Jerry, who is playing a Navy deck, also suggested by Mutter Vader. So I guess we'll figure out how Mutter Vader does here, picking sets for the light side versus the dark side. Let me go ahead and run down the deck list real quick for each of us here. So I've got the Rebel affiliation, and my deck has 2 Hoth operations, 2 attack pattern delta, 2 in hospital deployments. That's the new Rebel Hoth set. It's also got 2 preparation for battle, the old neutral Hoth set with the speeders. And then it's got 1 hero's resolve and 1 echo based defense. And Jerry's deck has 2 imperial command, 2 general's imperative, 2 unstoppable advance, 2 blizzard assault, the new Navy Hoth set and Trust in the Force, then 1 shadows on the ice and 1 sabotage in the snow. So we've got Hoth versus Hoth here. It's like we're going back to the old days of the game when it first started, Derek, with all this Hoth stuff everywhere. And it looks like I think I flipped up 2 Hoth ops and a hero's resolve. And Jerry, I think, has 2 general imperatives and imperial command. So
Yep.
interesting starts there. So general's imperative, that old Hoth one's that while it's undamaged, it increases your reserve value by 1. So even without the affiliation cards, he's going to get to start with 8. And Imperial Command, just the blank, regular 2, doesn't really have anything that old Mahdi set. The Hoth Ops gives all your speeders edge 1, so I've got 2 of them out there and have edge 2. And Hero's Resolve, while it's undamaged, get like all your fake card or all your edge cards get an extra icon. So I'm going to be sitting pretty for some edge battles here, I think.
Yeah, and he's got the extra cards though to go with it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of canceling each other out here.
Yeah.
It's interesting with the Hoth ones because I think to really build the decks effectively or see how good they are or aren't, they kind of have to always be winning. Like you can't really tell when you're playing Hoth against Hoth.
Right.
Because now there are times when like now your Battle of Hoth fate cards can actually do damage to your opponent's objectives, not necessarily just used for healing.
Yeah.
Which is a definitely different, considering you guys both have objectives that lose their abilities when they get, plinked for a point.
Yep. So Jerry just played a Stormtrooper, and then he played Aggressive Assault, which is why you control 1 or more Hoth objectives deal damage to each of your opponent's objectives. So he turned off Hero's Resolve. Now, Hoth Ops is one of those objectives that some of the light side had back then in Hoth, so it's kind of neat to see him here, that they only actually work if you have more Hoth objectives than your opponent. And so I was kind of lucky here that Jerry put up Imperial Command, so I do have more Hoth objectives than he does right now. And there's a Mighty Tauntaun to start on my side. So that's never a bad thing. And then I think that's Rogue Leader.
Yeah,
I think that's
Leader or Rogue. Yeah, it looks like Rogue Leader.
Yeah, that's Rogue Leader. That's got the blast and gets a tactics if Rogue 2 is on the battle or out there. And then I just played just a generic Snow Speeder. And I should probably be able to do some damage here, because I've got speeders. Each one of them's going to have edge 2. And I'm sending in just a generic speeder at one of the general's imperatives, I guess, to try to turn that off. Let's see if Jerry blocks. He doesn't really have a way to free up that Stormtrooper if he blocks with his. Trooper's just going to be locked down. So. About the only good thing that Jerry did that turn was turn off my Hero's Resolve. Looks like I have Pilot Luke in my hand from the Jedi set.
So that's the only Jedi pod in there. You're kind of lucky to be able to actually even play it.
Yeah. I guess he's got 3 pips if you need it.
That's interesting and include with the Rebel affiliation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because is there anything in your deck that says you have to run Rebel?
No.
So why aren't you running Jedi then? If there's one Jedi pod and a couple neutrals.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that Luke is the only actual Jedi card in the whole deck.
Right, but
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
maybe
still,
that's why.
you could still get locked out in theory,
Right.
but
Yeah, I would think that maybe it'd be better to.
if you got 7 Rebel pods, I don't see why you need the Rebel affiliation. I guess is my point. The
Yeah.
odds of the odds of you needing it are so slim.
Yeah. I mean, there are 3 neutral pods, so I guess that can guarantee that if you get like completely screwed with drawing all 3 neutral pods and the one Jedi pod.
Oh, that's true.
You don't get locked out.
I was thinking you only had the one other neutral pod.
No, there's 3.
So you've only got 6 Rebel in
There's
there.
There's only 6 Rebel, yeah.
Then it makes a little more sense, I guess. Especially if Luke is the only Jedi card.
Right, so the speeder got in unopposed and got 2 damage on it. General's imperative, and he's blocking Rogue Leader here. Rogue Leader is going to be toast, I think, but maybe I can at least get a damage in before or anything. So I put 2 cards in, and Jerry put 2 cards in, but I've got edge too, so I have a feeling my 2 cards are going to be better than his. I might have pitched that Luke. Get the pips. And maybe I had a Battle of Hoth too. I couldn't tell everything. I've only got 1 card left, so I guess Jerry's trying to decide if he's going to pitch more in here. He should have it.
Luke would have been good to put on one of those guys just because if they get killed, he bounces into play.
Yeah, maybe I should have done that instead of playing the other speeder. It looks like he had a Battle of Hoth. It looks like Jerry had 4, and I think I had 4 plus my edge 2, so I'm going to win 6-2. So he used Battle of Hoth to remove a damage from the one General's imperative, and I'm going to do a damage the other one. The Trooper will kill Rogue Leader. So I turned both of them off, and I think the Tauntaun's going to take balance here. Yep. Look at that Tauntaun holding the Force. I don't know why I find that so amusing, but I always have.
It's interesting because unless he removes another damage, taking that 1 point off didn't matter much. He might have instead put a damage on like one of your Hoth ops if he might have been able to kill it this turn because all you've got is a Tauntaun to block. It really depends on what his hand is.
Yeah, I probably will not be blocking with a Tauntaun. He's probably going to have free reign.
And he's got 5 resources. So
yeah, he could get out some stuff if he's willing, especially if he's willing to use both resources on Imperial Command. He'd probably like to get a resource here.
Yeah.
Although, that's the one thing I always remember about the Hoth sets, and I think it came up when Jerry and I were doing these games with the suggested decks where we actually had some of the Hoth stuff since the Trust in the Force has those new Hoth sets, is there was just too many of those sets that didn't have resources, and that just kind of was a big detriment, I think, to the trying to build around them.
Well, they all had Tauntauns.
Well, the light side did, but the dark side didn't. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And Tauntauns were just choke fodder back then, so...
Yeah, you ended up with stuff like, you had like Veers who had a resource on
Right.
And that was your source of resources.
So it looks like I played one of the 2 cost, I can't remember what they're called, or Jerry played one of those 2 cost things. AT-AT.
Yeah, those are
like
really good.
The mini AT-ATs, basically.
Yeah, those were really good. I always liked those.
Yeah.
I forget what that
Blizzard
supply
Force
depot is that he put.
Yeah, that right.
What does that do?
That's the one that reduces.
Line, I think it's called.
That's the one that it's called. What is that called? It's called Orbital Resupply Station, and reduce the cost to play each Navy vehicle unit with a printed cost 4 or higher by 1.
That's right.
So it's a reducer if you got expensive things. Now Jerry actually chose not to attack there.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah. And I think
can see
he played...
keeping the trooper back, but I would have gone in with the AT-AT. He doesn't even have any guns. All he has is a shield.
Yeah, I think he played that Succumb to the Cold that puts a focus token on a unit after your opponent removes a focus token from it, because I see my Snowspeeder still has a focus on it.
Well, if he was going to do that, then I definitely would have attacked.
Yeah.
because then you have less to counterattack with.
I think he was worried about me dropping a bunch of speeders in and just winning. Like going to town somehow with a bunch of Battle of Hoth or something like that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the AT-AT is only going to prevent 1 damage maybe from the shield.
Right.
It's not going to prevent unopposed, because if I remember right, it has, like, no health.
Yeah, there's Rogue Leader again. And there is a Wilderness Fighter for 3.
Those were always my favorite units in the Hoth set.
Yeah.
I like the fact now, because you had 3 of them in the 1 pod, but it was the limit 1 pod.
Right.
But now with this new one, they're reprinted, so now you got 5 in your deck.
Right, exactly.
That's pretty nasty.
And they get a black gun for every Hoth objective you control. So that Wilderness Fighter has 3 black guns right now.
Yeah. Unlike the other characters, I think they're in the Echo base set, they have like a white tactics and they get guns for Hoth also, but those ones are edge dependent.
Right.
These are not.
Yeah, and they don't have any blast. They're defenders, as they're called. So he's blocking there, and I put in a Battle of Hoth, and Jerry put in a Battle of Hoth. So he's going to actually win this edge battle here, because Wilderness Fighter doesn't get a bonus. Although, I used Battle of mine to remove a damage from Hero's Resolve to give it an extra icon.
Yep.
But mine goes first. I remember this when we were playing. The light side Battle of Hoth is 7 and the dark side's 8. So Jerry can just put the damage right back on there and turn it off.
Exactly.
Which is what he just did. So he's still going to win the edge battle. Not that it's going to matter. I'm going to kill that ATST in a second.
Yeah, so the ATST really didn't do anything there.
No. I gave him a blocker. Otherwise I would have had a bunch of free damage, but yeah.
Yeah, but if he'd have just blocked that with the trooper, he could have killed your guy.
Right. And now,
then this speeder goes in unopposed, but
yeah,
I would. He might kill that now. Personally, I would rather kill the Wilderness Fighter. He's scarier than that Rogue Leader is.
Yeah. So he's. I know Jerry likes to keep force. That's his main thing. So he let me go in there and get the 2 damage on General's Imperative, but he's going to keep balance with his trooper. That's what he was going for. So now the question is, do I decide to go in with the Tauntaun? No, I didn't. So the dial's going to go to 4.
Speeder decks don't care about keeping force. They're supposed to win faster than that.
Right.
Oh.
Well, I'm not sure it was the best strategy for Jerry in this game. It's just his normal mode of operations here that he always tries to play the slow game, take balance, even if it's with stuff like this, and then he gets hesitant to defend with them because he doesn't want them to get locked down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't want to attack with the Tauntaun because then I'd lose one of my resources since it would have been double focused.
Yeah, no, I think you've so far have done pretty much what you should.
Yeah. So Jerry is playing an ATS. Yeah, he's playing an AT-AT there with the reducer. So that's one that gets rid of. Instead of resolving its combat icons, you can get rid of a target non-limited enhancement, which I have none of right now, so I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
So you can just go to town with Blast instead.
Yeah. See, this is where I was saying, like, he might have, instead of removing that 1 damage, if he'd have dealt that damage instead, now he could blow up an objective with that AT-AT.
Yeah, and he is not attacking. He's going to leave the AT-AT back on defense, I guess, because it has shielding.
No.
I just pitched. I know that's the card in the Wilderness Fighter set, but I can't remember what it's called. The one that.
In the new set?
No, in the original Wilderness Fighter set, it's there it is. Sub-Zero defenses, destroy the first enemy unit. Card. Yeah, I just pitched that, I guess, because I wanted units. So what did I get out there? I think that's Rogue 2.
Yeah, you got Rogue 2 out there, and then you got one of the little generic. Tanks. Yeah, the spear. It's got a focus. I think it has shielding too. Doesn't it?
It does. It's got shielding and it's got the focus there on it.
Yeah. So the problem is he has no chance of winning edge because you've got 2 of those Hoth ops. I think he needed to get rid of one of those to even have a chance at winning some edge battles.
Yeah, because now if I send 2 speeders in at a time, I've got edge 4.
Exactly, and then you've got focus, and you can lock down, whoever you need to lock down.
Yep.
And now you got Rogue 2 and Rogue 1 going together.
Yeah, and they got a Rogue Leader has the tactics when he's with when Rogue 2's on the table, so.
Yep.
So I got a couple things with tactics.
I mean, the downside is the AT-AT isn't going to be killed by that.
No.
And with the shielding, it'll
right.
still counterattack.
Yeah. So I guess it's a matter of what Jerry decides to do or block. So it looks like I'm going in with these speeders, unless I'm still considering what I want to attack with.
If Jerry doesn't block here with the AT-AT, you just focus it. So he kind of has to, and put the shield on it. But then you can still come behind with Rogue Leader and put another focus on it afterward.
Right.
So he's going to not have it after this turn. Either way you look at it, it's going to have 2 focus tokens on it once the turn ends.
Yeah, I think that's my plan. That's what I'm hoping to do.
Yep. That's the thing. Those types of units are generally best for offense, like the little one he had before that.
Yeah.
This one's a little more durable, so you can play it defensively, but...
Oh, this is interesting. Almost looks like I'm going to try to just send the Wilderness Fighter in first and make him have to block something or let me get a lot of damage in. Just with that. But I wouldn't have the edge cards. Oh, wait. You're going to send a Speeder in with it. Okay. Alright, so I'm sending the Speeder and the Wilderness Fighter in after the General's Imperative. That's 3 damage, so I'm sort of forcing his hand here. If he doesn't block, I'm just going to blow it up. If he does block with the AT-AT and he shields the AT-AT, I could still blow it up. If he shields the objective, then I could kill the AT-AT with the guns on the Wilderness Fighter and still get around the damage. I think that's probably why I did it. So the only way he can really avoid me blowing this up, I think, well, he could have a Battle of Hoth to heal, but besides that would be to actually block with 2 things. So, yep, I've got Edge 2. Jerry's putting 1 in, and I am putting 1 in here. Jerry's put a second 1 in. This is probably the key edge battle in this round. I probably am better off putting more in here, making sure I win this, because then I could potentially let the lock down one of his other units too, just let the AT-AT focus itself. So I got a Battle of Hoth, something else. He had a Battle of Hoth. Looks like Jerry had 7, and I think I had 9 because I've got Edge 4. And I'm using the Battle of Hoth to clear off my Hero's Resolve again. And then he's putting it back on there. So I still won Edge. I'm not quite sure why he did that, why he didn't just heal his own. I was going to win Edge anyway. Oh, no, I guess he won Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I only had Edge 2. I only had 1 Speeder in there, so we tied. So,
right.
So he killed the Speeder tank. I just killed the AT-AT with the Wilderness Fighter and got an unopposed, which was absorbed by the shield. And now I'm just sending one of the Speeders in, it looks like. I'm probably trying to force a block again here, because then I can go back behind it with the tactics. Yep. So he is blocking with the Stormtrooper. I've got Edge 2, so I'm going to pass. I think he passed, obviously. So I did damage to the Trooper, do 1 to General's Imperative, and he's going to kill my Speeder, but I double focus it. Everybody's Trooper got double focus. Now I'm sending in Rogue Leader and Rogue 1, or in Rogue 2, after Imperial Command. And he's going to block, so Jerry's going to be completely locked down probably after this turn. Oh, maybe not, because I may actually want to focus that Trooper, so I don't lose something. So it looks like we both passed. I'm going to use Rogue Leader, because that's got a tactics now. Focus his Trooper and get a blast in. Oh, I'm going to just... Oh, he put it in the wrong place, it looked like. Yeah, on Imperial Command. And now I'm going to be able to kill the Trooper with the 2 guns from Rogue 2, and I've got 2 edge blasts there, so I'm going to get 2 more blasts. And then unopposed will put 4 damage total on Imperial Command. And I'm even going to take balance back with the Tauton again. And the dial will just go to 5. My speeders have seemed like they've been in control of this game there.
Well, Jerry just hasn't done much except play units and then play defense.
Yeah.
And he hasn't dropped any. He's played 1 unit a turn, maybe 2.
Yeah.
At most. So, speeders, you gotta you can't let them build up.
Right. Especially with Hoth Ops out, 2 Hoth Ops out there. I mean, that's just...
Yeah, I think that was his real mistake early, was just not putting the damage on there, especially because with, you know, you guys have been damaging and healing with the Battle of Hoth, but getting it to 1 away, you know, he'd be able to finish it off a lot easier too, without even possibly attacking.
Right.
And doing that when you're not expecting it would also all of a sudden drop your edge count in a hand that you thought you had won, and he'd probably get to take out, you know, a key speeder that you weren't expecting because you thought you had an extra 2 or 3 edge points.
Yeah. All I keep thinking watching this game with all these speeders is I'm just glad he didn't have Tarkin Doctrine in his deck, because Moment of Triumph would have just wrecked the speeder deck.
Yep.
So Jerry's still got 5 resources. He's got a discount on something that costs 4 or more at least. But he really has been resourced to hamper this game. That's not helping. There is a duty officer. He's finally got a resource. That might be a little too late.
Needs that big 6 cost one that's in that pod.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt.
I think that one is 3 blasts. Isn't it like Home 1, like where it damages each enemy Hoth objective?
Yeah, which would be good now, because I got all Hoth objectives.
Yeah, he'd just wipe the table with you if he had that thing.
Yeah. I got to think if he had that, he would have used it.
It would already be on the table.
It'd be on the table. But, of course, that'd just be 1 unit, and then if he attacked with it, he'd have nothing else. So maybe that wouldn't be the best option at this point.
No, he needed it earlier.
Yeah. Although, I think, if I'm remembering right, that works. Yeah, okay. So the damage would be delivered even on defense.
I think so.
Yeah, I was just double checking it. It is. All right, so he is playing...
Yeah, except the unit has only like 1 gun and 3 blasts.
Right,
it's got not much of an attacker.
Right,
or a defender.
It has shielding, and there's
another one of those.
I think it's one of the blizzards, isn't it? No, it's one of the AT-AT. It's a regular AT-AT, yeah. Yeah, he only paid 3 for that. So it's an AT-AT. He really needs more units here to try to block. And it's paying 2 for another one of the Blizzard AT-STs.
Mm-hmm.
And he's committing both of them to take balance back, so I can't just blow up Imperial Command. And I'm drawing up. So let's see what I'm going to do here. I think I'm in pretty strong position.
Yeah.
He's got 2 blockers. Now, granted, they both have shields, but if I get a couple more speeders, I can get some big edge advantages. That's a snow speeder launch bay, right? So that's when a speeder strikes once per turn, you can deal a damage to a vehicle, and if it's a walker, you can place a token on it. Isn't that what that does? I think.
Something like that. I know it's nastier against walkers.
Yeah. Double check that. I know it's in the attack pattern delta. Yeah. Yeah, after you strike with a speeder unit, deal a damage to a target enemy vehicle unit. If it's a walker unit, place one focus token on it once per phase. And there's another speeder. So I've got 3 speeders. Is that going to be enough? Probably should be enough, right?
Well, it's enough to win Edge, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can get, 3 Edge 2s or an Edge 4 and an Edge 2 or Edge 6 somewhere if I really want it, I guess. So it looks like I'm going Rogue Leader, Rogue 2 again after something. The question is, what am I going after? The good thing is I have a tactics there, so I'm going to be, if he doesn't block, I'll just lock one of his units down. If he does block, then I can probably lock his whole board down.
Yeah.
I'm going after the General's Imperative that has 3 damage on it. I think I was probably worried about him having more Battles of Hoth than healing again.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to kind of account for that. So right now, if I win Edge, I'd have 3 blasts, so I could get through a shield. I couldn't really get through a Battle of Hoth, though.
Well, he can't block if can't win Edge.
Right.
I mean, he's not going to have enough defenders. You're going to be able to just send in the wilderness fighters afterwards and take something else out.
Yeah, so, alright, so he's shielding... He's blocking with both. He's shielding the AT-AT and the objective. I see a Battle of Hoth in my hand. And we'll see what happens here with my Edge 4. I wonder if I passed and he passed. That was probably a bad move if that's what he did. Oh, maybe not. So I'm going to do a damage to the objective, which he shielded. And then... Oh, so I struck with the speeder. And then I think what I'm doing is I'm going to deal a damage. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think I started doing that. I almost did it wrong, and then I reread the card because it's been so long since I played Snowsphere or Launch Bay. You have to, when you the unit you have to place the focus token on the same one you damage. So then I damaged the AT-AT and got to focus it so he couldn't shoot back. Okay, with the Snowsphere or Launch Bay. And then, oops, there's a cat.
They only appear on the planet of Hoth.
That's right. Well, you can see the black cat easy on the planet of Hoth with all that white, right? So now I'm going to kill the AT-AT with the speeder and do 2 damage to the objective. And I think that's going to do it. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I can take out the rest of them. So Mother Vader's light side Hoth deck was, I guess, better than his dark side Hoth deck is all I can say to that one. But so it's cool to see the Hoth stuff in action. I didn't really get much of the new stuff in play, and neither did Jerry, actually. That's a little disappointing. It's almost more like classic Hoth. But you got any thoughts about the game we just saw there before we wrap it up there?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, like you said. It was all it was all old stuff. It's all the Hoth stuff that we've seen before. We didn't really get to see anything new to interact with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it kind of is what it is, so.
Yeah, the only thing probably maybe some of those Battle of Hoth were from those sets, because I think they each have them. So.
Yeah, who knows how many of them were in your decks between the two of you.
I think there's a lot. Like, I have to go look at one of the deck builders and see. It looked like I had 5.
Mm-hmm.
Actually surprised it was only 5. And then there was 2 targets in a heat at battle. And
yeah.
Jerry's Jerry had 6 of them. That's a lot of Battle of Hoth. So yeah, so it's again interesting to see the Hoth stuff come back up there, even though we didn't really see much of it in play in those games. So all right, well I guess we'll wrap it up here for this game. So thanks to Mutter Vader for suggesting the decks for Jerry and I to try. Hopefully we did them justice, and thanks as always for joining me for comment, Derek. Appreciate it.
Yep, anytime.